social and environmental change. We're going to be talking about being motivated to do the best that you can with your lives. We're going to also talk about being a support system for those who are less fortunate. We're going to talk about some good stuff here tonight. Jim and I, and Jim, of course, is one of my dear friends and a member of the West Side Men's Group Network. He's also a member of the First United Church of Oak Park, where he's the leader of environmental and social justice. He's also co-founder and board member of One Earth Film Festival. And so if you continue to tune in with us, we're going to get right back with you because we're also doing a live television show here, and we're waiting on the folks to just let us know. And it seems like we're ready to rock and roll, so we are on, Mr. Jim. Are you ready?
Right on. Yes, I am.
So we was also kind of toying around over here because our young people was in there producing the shows tonight. We thank them. And so, every now and then you just have to be patient and wait. Is that fair, Jim?
That's very true.
Yeah.
True statement.
Yeah, you just have to be patient and let the Lord move. But anyway, you're watching Fathers Who Care, and as always, we believe that any man capable can make a baby, but it takes a real man to be a father. And so I kind of pride myself on bringing to you, the viewing audience, each week, individuals that we believe that you should know. But before I do that tonight, I want to first thank Omari, my main man, for directing this telecast of at Can TV 21. I want to thank all of the young people who continuously are hanging out with me in spite of my old age. They come sometimes tell me that I'm a little older, that I need to chill out a little bit. Yeah. I personally don't agree with them.
Not at all.
Because I think I got more energy than most of them. But anyway, I let them have their moments because I'm cool too. Mm-hmm. But the young folks, they allow me to hang out with them, and I think that's real important.
It is. Important.
When young
Very
people
important.
let you hang out with them, that tells you something,
Young
right?
people are the future.
Yeah, they're the future, and if they let you hang out with them, and they can hang out with you, you betting on something. You got something going on.
We
But
each have something to learn from each other.
Is that right?
I think so.
Okay, that's right. We call that bridging the intergenerational gaps, and creating a positive exchange between young folks and the elders. But anyway, tonight what we want to do, if the Lord say the same, is we want to use this show specifically to engage you, to encourage you, those who are watching, a few things tonight. One thing we want to encourage you to do, to be conscious, all right? Secondly, to be aware. And the third is to get engaged, all right?
Exactly.
So we're going to share some good things tonight. And this time we're going to bring the whole show tonight on a twist. We're going to put it on an educational twist in relationship to social and environmental change. So we want to use this show tonight just to enlighten and empower. But if you're tuning in and you want to be involved in some of these topics like the census, which we encourage you to be involved in the census. The census is real important, and I'm going to ask Jim about that in a minute, about what is the census and why should people be involved in the census. Another issue that I want you to be real keen on is please register to vote. All right? It is your right. Too many people have lost their lives for the right to vote, and it'd be a travesty if you are not registered to vote. And it'll be an even greater tragedy outside of the initiative of voting if you're not being counted. And last but not least, are you civically engaged?
Right.
Those are things I want to talk about in general. I want to ask you, are you civically engaged? Are you registered to vote? Are you going to vote? I'm not telling you who to vote for, but you should vote. And then I should also share with you that it's really important that you are involved in the census. And to encourage you to be involved in the census, I'm going to do a little bit of something special today. I'm going to give you a phone number, and I'm going to give it to you right now. And that number is 1-855-JOB-2020. So that would be 1-800 at 1-855-JOB, that's jobs, 2020. So if you get in touch, if you go online, you can go online at 2020census.gov/jobs, 2020census.gov/jobs. If you go in there, they got they're recruiting folks or recruiting folks for jobs right now. I understand that it's upwards of like $28, $20, $30 or something to that fact, $40. Whatever it is, it's more money than I normally make an hour. All right? So I'm going to encourage you. Hey, Jim.
I know. Barely making minimum wage.
You know what I mean?
There.
So, and then I want you to all be prepared to take the pledge. Take the pledge to be counted. I mean, all it is information, sharing how many folks are in your house. I think if you don't do it, then you lose revenue in the community. Let me go back over this, and then I'm going straight into Jim. The census, of course, is every 10 years. Then, of course, there's $675 billion distributed to do this census, all right? The census day is April the 1st, 2020. Households will be invited to participate. It'll be on the state, county, and, of course, city level. So we encourage you just to get involved. So with that being said, I'm going to come back and talk about that later. But I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about something about this here. And if you can read that, you know, I'm a proponent of the power of we.
Yes.
Not I, Joe.
That's right.
Not us, Jim.
That's right.
I'm going to say not me, but we.
You're exactly right.
So the power of we. And so that's, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then we're going to talk about the One Earth Film Festival. We're going to go on a little journey over here. And so we're going to encourage those who are watching today, if you got any questions in relationship about the census, about voting, about how to reduce substance abuse on the west side, if you're interested in understanding how to join a coalition, or if you're considering joining a coalition, we're going to ask you to join us, Fathers Who Care, and the Westside Community Stakeholders. And if you got young people who you feel are disenfranchised and need something to do from the ages of 12 to 24, we encourage you to get in touch with Fathers Who Care. Our number is 773-287-5821. If you got young people who really want to be involved and have nothing to do and might want to make a little money while learning some skills, call us. So with that being said, Jim, thank you so much. I shared with you all on Facebook, Facebook, that Jim, I told them that you were a member of the First United Church of Oak Park, where you are currently the leader of the Environmental and Social Justice team. Mm-hmm. I told them that you was also co-founder and board member of the One Earth Film Festival, which I want to talk about that tonight if you allow me, and that you is a proud member of the Westside Men's Network.
That's right.
Now, I'm not going to get you for that because I'm a member too.
That's right.
So, you know, we got that bond, all right?
That's right.
And we see each other all the time.
It's a great organization.
Not just that group, but we other groups. So we're in that same circle. So, Jim, I'm going to say this in all seriousness, that I know your heart is right because I know you out here in the field. You're out here doing the work. You're always in somebody's meeting or somebody activity trying to make a difference. But I don't want to talk about your professional side, Jim. I want to ask you about your personal side.
Sure.
Who is Jim?
Sure. Well, I'm a resident of Oak Park. I was raised in California, and I had a lot of great experiences in the outdoors that really affected me and what I was concerned about in the future and what I'm concerned about now. I've been in Chicago for 40 years now, so I'm pretty familiar with what's going on here. I think so. Been married for about 42 years, have 2 grown sons. Mm-hmm. As you said, I attend the First United Church, which is a very active church in the community. They house the Oak Park Food Pantry. They used to house Housing Forward, which was for homeless people. We do have a PADS night every once a month on Mondays for homeless people. We do a lot of global work for peace, for in Middle East and in South America. So it's a very active church, and it's.
I think so.
I think so. It follows causes that are in my heart that I.
And we have another group that we're real connected to with these churches, because we're all in some of the same circles. Mm-hmm. So we see a lot of social issues and social justice issues together.
Exactly.
I think we consider ourselves to be true advocates for social change. But go ahead, you were talking.
Well, so regarding that, I've been involved with environmental movement for maybe 25 or 30 years. And what I saw at the beginning was that environmentalists seemed to be really narrowly focused. And at the beginning, it was all about polar bears and owls and that kind of thing. And what it's evolved to, and what I've come to see, is that our social situation is a part of our environment. That's, how we live, what kind of economy we have, whether there's poverty or violence or drugs. That's all part of our environment. So all of those issues of how to get access to healthy food, how to get access to good education, how to have clean clean water and clean air to breathe. That's all part of different social justice issues, and the environmental justice movement is a part of that. And so I think it's come to be seen by a lot of environmentalists now that they can't just focus just on quote-unquote environmental issues, that they have to be more involved in the community. What's happening with people? That's really, more important than what's happening with polar bears, although we're all interconnected. But what's happening with people, our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, our friends, that's what's the most important thing. And basically, we're seeing that the environment is under attack, has been under attack for 100 years, and now we're in dire straits, especially considering the advance of climate change.
So with that being said, Jim, I want to thank you again. I want to reiterate that we are talking to one of my friends here and fellow Westside Men Network member, Brother Jim Babcock. And he's also a member of the First United Church of Oak Park, a really social justice and community-oriented church who's committed to social and environmental change on the west side of Chicago. He's also co-founder and board member of the One Earth Film Festival, which I think is important that we talk about that tonight. But he's just an all-around cool cat, all right? And I like him so much. And then I want to talk to some of you guys who are watching today about if you're not being counted, then you don't count. That's real talk. And so we're hoping that you would join our movement with the 2020 census to get people counted and take a pledge to be counted and understand that there's job opportunities, there's other resources, and if you're not being counted, that can limit the resources and the availability to lead you to additional resources in your community. So with that being said, I want to go and ask Jim a few questions here and there if I don't mind. If you don't mind, Jim, but I'd like to start off with this overhead. What do that mean? What
Power
does this
of we.
mean?
Sure,
Yeah,
the
the
power
power
of we.
of we.
That's the theme for this year's One Earth Film Festival.
Okay.
And what it relates to, and you'll see the dates there up on the screen, this
Right.
year's film festival starts March 6th through the 15th, so it
Okay.
starts in just a little over a week. And it's
March
all,
6th to the 15th.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
that's on the screen.
That's correct, and it's all over Chicago. The power of we talks about how we know that as individuals we can do things to make the environment healthier. We can change our light bulbs, we can do recycling, we can put in vegetable gardens in our backyard. That's all fine. But when we work together, when we work collaboratively.
Wait, say that again. When we work together, when we work collaborative, I just like the words.
Yeah, when we work together, when we work as a collective, when we work
Teamwork.
on specific campaigns, we're so much more powerful. We're so much more effective.
Hey, Jim.
And it's fine to do things individually, but in many of the issues, socially and environmentally today, there's so much change that's needed, we really need to be more effective than just working on our own.
So that can be produced and that can be showcased, or however you want to elaborate on, or however you want to emphasize it. It can be manifested is the word I was trying to say.
The power of we?
Yeah, the power
Yeah.
of me.
Oh, yeah.
It can be manifested with the power of we. That's
Right.
where I was trying to go with
Right.
it. But so I'm encouraging those who are watching, there's various different films that's coming around. Is that correct?
Yes, we've got 29 different films that are being shown this year, probably in 50 or more different locations.
But tell me about a couple of them that's coming up. There's one coming up on March the 7th. What's going on with that?
March 7th in Austin Public Library. The movie will be it's called Cooked, Survival by Zip Code. And the subject matter of that film is it starts out with a heat wave in Chicago in 1995.
You remember that, don't you,
That
guys?
if people remember that, there were 750 or more people that died from heat exhaustion and heat stroke and from being holed up in their rooms without windows or air conditioning. And it was a terrible event. It overwhelmed the city morgue.
So the name of that movie is
Cooked, Survival by Zip Code.
And that movie it's going to be...
It's playing on Saturday the 7th at 11 a.m. at the Austin Public Library. And let me just say,
Sure.
You'll see on our script, and I'll point out our website. It's oneearthfilmfest.org.
Okay.
If you go to that site, it has our complete schedule. It has descriptions of all these movies. It has trailers of all the movies, so you can see what they're like. And that's also where you can go to register for these events.
Okay.
And I'm going to encourage people to register because we sell out sometimes. And you and I have actually been at an event or more.
That was jam-packed.
It was wall-to-wall people.
Yeah.
It was standing room only at the Austin Public Library, and you and I were sitting in back or standing in back against the
and you
wall.
all are asleep on that library. All right. You sleep on the public library over there on Race and Central.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jim, we got a call. The way we work it here is when we get call-ins, we encourage our guests to respond
Sure.
to the calls.
Okay.
Caller, you on there? Your comment or question, please.
Yes, I have a question for the guest, and my question to the guest is, if one was interested in playing an important role in benefiting the environment, what would they do? And then my next question to you is, how will anyone know about the different films that I hear that's coming out regarding the environment? And would it be different films? Would it be about different things pertaining to the environment?
Sure.
Just, can you kind of elaborate, and how would you find out about these
Sure.
films?
Thank you for that
They'll be
question.
showing.
And thank you for tuning in. Jim, you might want to go ahead.
The main way to find out completely about the festival is to go to our website,
Which is?
oneearthfilmfest.org.
And they'll be able to have what?
You'll be able to see a complete schedule. For each film, you'll be able to see a trailer so you can see what the movie is about. It gives the different locations. And if you pick a film and a location, you click on that and it'll take you to a registration page where you can register and hold your place for going to the movie. With very few exceptions, every single one of our films is free to the public. And we're showing somewhere in the neighborhood of 29 different films on all sorts of environmental subjects.
So again, you're watching Fathers Who Care. Of course, my guest tonight is none other than one of my friends and brothers and former yeomen of the West Side Men's Network, where we all, and you're also a member of the First United Church of Oak Park, which is one of my colleagues and one of my co-laborers in the gospel. But also we are co-leaders in the social environmental change areas. We are agents of social change. And we're specifically talking tonight about you being involved in three capacities. One, to be civically engaged. That means get out there in the community and make some things happen. You can't do it all, but you can do a whole lot when you work as a team. The second thing is, please vote. Register to vote. It is your right to vote, and if you do not vote, then there is a travesty, and then you don't count. And if you're not being counted, then you don't count. And when the resources and allocations are being brought back to your community, don't complain because you didn't get counted. And so other communities are picking up the resources because you won't allow folks to count the folks in your neighborhood. So there's three big initiatives going on in our city and around and about the city, the right to vote, and making sure you vote and being civically engaged. And so we encourage you, and those who are watching, if you need additional information, and if you're looking for a job. Yes, I said it. We're looking for people who want to work. Say work.
That's work.
Now, you got to work to get paid, because if you don't work, you don't eat. And so we want to encourage folks that if you're looking for a job, $30, $40 an hour to that effect. Look, the Census is hiring right now. 2020 Census.gov is the website. 2020census.gov/jobs. They're having job opportunities, and if you need some additional assistance, give Fathers Who Care a call at 773-287-5821. Little shout out to my church family, to my brothers, Pam, Minister Pam, I'm a good brother, Brother Vessel, and others and Sister Connie from Carrie's church. But anyway, let's go back. Let's talk back to you now. That was the 7. We got Cooked, Survival by Zip Code, right?
Yes. And let me just
Sure, go
wanted to
ahead.
follow up
Hey.
on something you mentioned about civic engagement, because that's a very important part of the film festival, one of our important goals.
Mm-hmm.
We had, when we started this film festival 9 years ago, this will be our 9th year, we asked 2 questions. How can we get information to more people about environmental issues?
Right.
And how can we get more people involved in taking action? So the model of our film festival is we don't just show a film and then say goodbye to the audience, we have a facilitated discussion with
do.
trained facilitators.
And we feed you.
And we have refreshments,
Yeah.
and we have a program with expert panelists with a question and answer period.
So when
And the final
Sure.
thing, we have what are called action tables, action partners. And those are organizations that are actually involved on the ground, on the issues that are raised, the specific issues that are raised in the film that you see.
So there's
So
there's
if you're
a film.
motivated to do something, you can go immediately, right after seeing the film, to talk to someone about how to get involved.
Okay. There's 2 films coming up in the very near future. I don't want to lose that.
Okay.
What are they?
Well, the one is on the 7th, that's at Austin Library. The other one is on the 14th, Saturday the 14th at 11 a.m. It's at the Garfield Park Conservatory, and that movie is called Use Less, a documentary on food and fashion waste. And so that
Garfield
covers
Park.
at Garfield Park Conservatory. So they'll have refreshments, they'll have... And
What would you want the
I should
folks to
say
do?
also a big attraction to both of these films is the filmmakers will be in attendance at these films.
Why
Either
should
live,
people come out? Let's cut through the chase.
because we've got some incredibly great information, number one. And also, we pick films that are very high quality and have a very strong message. And they're very inspirational.
Educational
And inspirational at the same time.
Yeah.
So my feeling is, and our feeling is, you can teach someone and they might have the information in the brain, but if they get emotionally involved in watching a movie and in the subject, then it's not only in your brain, it's in your heart.
Right.
And that's where it really connects with you, and that's where it has an effect and then can inspire and motivate you then to want to take action. The other part about doing collaborative action is that it's so joyful
Right.
to do things with others rather than just being on your own and being isolated and so on. So we definitely are attuned to the whole idea of civic engagement, and that's a big goal of the film festival, to make sure that people have an opportunity to find out how they can get involved.
And so we're encouraging those who are watching today. Of course, we've been having technical difficulty in this studio ever since we've been here. Everything, like the Facebook has gone out, and then we had a couple of technical additions. So we're going to work it out, because now what we're going to do, we're going to go old school on them. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk specifically.
I could show a little clip here.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up.
It's right there. Want me to do it now?
Yeah, do it now.
If it'll work.
Okay, pull it up.
This is a little clip that'll give you, the audience,
Hit it.
a little idea
Hit it.
of what they're going to see at the festival.
I don't have control of it. It's in there. They can hear it out there, though. Yeah, there you go. Cut it up a little bit. There you have it.
There
Tell
we
us
go.
what we
There
saw.
we go.
What we saw, Jim. We got a minute.
You saw the power of film, the power of stories, the power of action, and the power of we. And that's what our film festival is all about. You also saw what high quality films there are. We
Yeah.
grade 150 films to get down to the 25 or so films that we show.
Jim, we got limited time.
Okay.
If folks want to be interested, and they want to come out and view some of these, and not just this one, but many, many films, how could they find out more?
The way to find out about the whole film festival, and this is a 10-day festival, we show 29 different films all over Chicago. So you're going to, wherever you are, you're going to be able to find a film near you. You go to our website. It's oneearthfilmfest.org. And on that website is our complete schedule, a connection to where you can sign up to register for particular events. And that's, I would say, is very important because some of our events are going to get sold out.
Okay. So listen, I would love to talk longer, and unfortunately at the time on the wall is saying we got 20 seconds. So Jim, I want to personally say thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
And listen, we want you to know with the West Side Men, we'll be having our networking event on March the 3rd. We didn't get a chance to talk about that, but for additional information, get in touch with Father Suker at 773-287-5821. We encourage you to come out. Jim and I are part of the West Side Men's Network, among other things. We're clergy laboring in the field. And we love what we do.
That's right.
God bless you. Good night. Keep the faith, and we'll see you next week. Next week, we'll be having the Senator Kimberly Lightford's office and Pamela Harris, who's running for 7th Circuit Judge of Cook County. Talk to you soon. God bless you. Good night, and we'll see you next week. Bless you now.
Good
Be
night.
a blessing. Jim?
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.